Hello. Hello, everyone. This is Philip Cargom. This is Tea with the Druid, number 265, brought to you by the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids. And how lovely to see everybody arriving from Mount Shasta in the Netherlands and Ballina Killaloe in County Tipperary and Bedfordshire in Southern California and Lake George, New York. Steamy Virginia, St. Lucia, Ben, hi. Yes, all sorts of people arriving into the circle, into the clearing. How wonderful. A few days ago, I did a little event we were on holiday in Ibiza, and I did a little event at an organic produce shop that was just near where we were living. And we went into the farm and just sat in a circle with the olive trees around us. And it was just so lovely, and did a very simple meditation, just like a Tea with a Druid meditation. And it was so lovely to be doing it live, as it were, in a completely different context and environment with completely different people. It was just great. There's something so heartwarming when you gather in a circle with whomever, wherever, and there's that sense of community and connection when you tune into the land, tune into the trees around you, tune into the sky, and tune into each other. So welcome, and let me begin by thanking Kerry very much for standing in for me, and for her tea, and giving her a shout out. She's started a YouTube channel with her partner Dave the Bard called The Green Grimoire, following her time on the allotment and working with nature and with exploring animism and druidry and so on. So do have a look at that on YouTube, The Green Grimoire. Speaking of grimoires, I thought today we'd do something interesting to do with grimoires. If you don't know it, are magical books, and so let's do some work with books. But first of all, let's just check in. Let's just see how we're feeling as people still arrive. Just check in with yourself. Just take a moment. Notice how you're feeling, and then just let a word or two pop up to express that, and type it in if you feel like it. It would be lovely just to get a feel from everyone how they're doing. Out of pain, that sounds good, David. Yes, magical, a bit wobbly today. So uplifted after delivering an aromatherapy session. Massage, that's lovely. Gratitude and calmness. Relaxed and positive, grateful. Energized and blessed. Running, sleepy. More and more connected. Serene after a beautiful ceremony. Reflective, wobbly. I too am wobbly. Yes, relaxed and happy. Joy. Great to be alive after an auto accident this weekend. Wonderful to be here with everyone. Yes, I'm glad you're alive, David. Chilled, feeling energized, anxious, restless, fascinated by other people, learned something new. Yes, people are endlessly interesting, aren't they? Inspired. Happy to be home post-op, missing a few bits. Oh, bless you, Nimi. Relieved for respite from the multiple forest fires in our area. Oh gosh, yes, rain arrived yesterday. Constanza doesn't like Mondays. Okay. Great to be with you from Italy now, Diana. Great. I'm making blackcurrant jam and my house smells amazing. Okay. That's lovely. That's lovely. Well, great to hear from you, and do keep typing them in if you haven't done so yet. I think what happened, the reason I like doing this little exercise is because you get a whole picture. I see somebody's recovering from a badly broken leg that's on the mend now. That's good. Quietly calm. It's as if everyone's presence has just become a little more real, and we can sense each other together that we're all different. We're all, some people are relaxed, some people are feeling wobbly, some people are, are going through difficult things, some people are healing and so on. So we're all different. So there's a sense of variety, but it helps that sense of connection, community, meaning. These three great qualities, great things that we need to feel good and to help us be here on earth in the most effective way, to feel connected with the natural world, which is why we love Druidry so much, I think. Anything that can help us connect with nature more, community, connecting with those around us. And all this embedded in some sense of meaning. So we don't have a sense of being in a sort of meaningless, purposeless world, but there's some deep meaning here. So I was sitting here just before we went on air and just tuning into what it would be good to explore with you. And I was just drawn to look over there to the bookshelf, and a particular book drew me. And I looked at it. It's called The Three Marriages by David Whyte, the poet. And I just opened it at a page. This perfect poem, just perfect for this evening, which I will read to you in the meditation. And so I thought, let's talk about bibliomancy. If you haven't heard of it before, I think you'll find it really fascinating. It's also called stichomancy, STI. It's from the Greek, and it's the practice of opening a book at random and selecting something to read and seeing if it has meaning. It was first mentioned, I think, in the 18th century, but there's references to stichomancy earlier than that. Of course, within Christian culture, the Bible was often used as the book that you did this with. But I've found over the years that just doing it when it feels right can be incredibly powerful. The most powerful example I can give is when I was working on a rendition of the Tale of Taliesin. And in my rendition, I had attributed very human emotions to one of the characters. And I was talking with about 4 friends, and they were all saying, don't do that. But I still was holding my ground because I sort of rather liked the way I'd written it. So I suddenly felt moved to just fling my left arm out. It helps sometimes, or some people say that it works if you use the non-dominant arm or hand. So I'm right-handed, so I use the left arm. I just flung my left arm out, picked a book, pulled it out. It was a book I had never looked at, never. It wasn't one of mine, it was one of Stephanie's, and never looked at it. I opened it, I put my finger down, and this is what it said. It is a common mistake of authors to attribute human emotions to archetypal characters from myth. This shouldn't be done, blah, blah, blah. I mean, how uncanny and how spot on is that? And so I adjusted what I'd written. And at another time, I was giving a talk in a bookshop in New York, and we had got there early, and I was feeling very nervous. And there were lots and lots of people in the bookstore, and I found myself having those thoughts, and you can have, it's like, why did I choose to do this in my life? Why didn't I choose to sweep the streets, or I don't know, paint houses or something? Why do I put myself in stressful situations? And again, I stretched my hand out, pulled a book out, stuck my finger in, and it said, the difference between an amateur and a professional. It was a book about acting. I don't know. The difference between an amateur and a professional is that an amateur is phased by their nerves, whereas a professional uses that nervousness to give themselves an edge and to give them a sort of power in their performance. So it was exactly the words I needed to hear. So you may well have cases stories of bibliomancy. Do type them in if you feel moved, but I know these stories can take a while, so don't worry if that's distracting. Or of course you can always type it in later on, because it takes comments afterwards, of course. What did I want to say? Now here's a variant of it. Have you heard of rhapsodomancy? Rhapsodomancy, which is where you use poetry and lines of poems for your divination. And you can also use lyrics of songs as well. And here's a method that we sometimes use in the car, which is that you put your player on shuffle, and then you can ask the gods, as it, please gods, may we receive just the right tune for us. And then you press shuffle, and you might be pleasantly surprised by the track that happens to play. So I'm seeing some interesting comments here, but let's engage now in a act of group bibliomancy. In there's the wonderful poet Hafiz, who wrote in Persian in the 14th century, and there's collections of his poems and sayings and quotations that number up to 500, and there are 1,700 versions of this Hafiz collection extant at the moment, up until this time. And his poetry and his quotations are used for bibliomancy. So let's tune in now, and I'm going to invite you to sense a number between 1 and 110. To see what pops into your mind, and then if you want to type it in the comments, and let's see what comes up. I'm gonna 79. I'm gonna go for 70. I'm part of the thing, because I have to choose some. So many are coming out. 79. It is written on the gate of heaven, nothing in existence is more powerful than destiny. And destiny brought you here, to this page, which is part of your ticket, as all things are, to return to God. That's, oh, I've lost you now. There you are. Yes. So let's do one more. 87. This is fun. 87. It is not easy to stop thinking ill of others. Usually one must enter into a friendship with a person who has accomplished that great feat himself. Then something might start to rub off on you of that true elegance. So if you want to try doing that, I just Googled Hafiz. It's spelled Hafez, Hafez, quotes, and there are loads of websites. This one website is called 110 Illuminating Hafez Quotes. So you can look up your number if you like on there. That was really fun, wasn't it? That was great. I love that. So now, yes. So now let's do a meditation. Let's go into meditation. And one of the lovely things about Druidry is that poetry is really important in Druidry, and poetry is a key component in many ceremonies. It's it's part of the Eisteddfod section, which is often in the center of a ceremony, whether song or poetry and all the rest of it. So reading poetry in a meditation is very Druidic. It's very bardic. So let's just take this opportunity to drop into a meditation, just becoming aware of how everything looks around you, your screen, sensing yourself being seated in front of the screen, and then just gently closing your eyes or lowering your gaze if you prefer not to close your eyes. And that's just by doing that, what happens is immediately masses and masses of information gets stopped from being sent to the brain. Think of all the colors, all the data that pours in as you keep your eyes open. Close your eyes, and it's a magical act of entering into a different level of consciousness, starting a journey, if you like, into the other world. Whatever that other world is, it's another world from the world you see when your eyes are open. And of course, for those of you who are not sighted, you're already familiar with this world that can be so rich and beautiful. And sensing yourself in this other world, allow your awareness of being in front of the screen to fade as you become aware of being seated in the grove, or perhaps walking into the sacred grove and coming and sitting down. Seated comfortably in the clearing in the forest. A sense of gathering, of a small fire burning in the center, the smell of wood smoke. And that sense of excitement and homecoming and warmth that you feel when people you love and are connected with gather together in a circle. And so, gathering with like-minded folk in the circle, we allow ourselves to become aware of being seated on the earth. And to do that, we might need to close our inner eyes so we can tune into the earth, sensing the stability of the earth beneath us. All the billions of microorganisms, all this tremendous life in the earth, everything connected, everything communicating with each other. Moisture, warmth, cool, stone, rock, minerals, richness, stability, strength, and we allow all these qualities to flow into our being. Just letting go of any tension, any cares and worries, just feeling sustained and supported, seated on the earth here. Gently breathing in and breathing out. Then you become aware of the roots of the trees spreading out beneath you, deep into the earth, and drawing the moisture up. And you sense the presence of these trees now, their tall trunks, our brothers and sisters around us, having a strong sense of their aliveness, their consciousness. How deeply touched we are to be close to you, dear trees. We know that our life on earth depends upon your well-being. We love you, we admire you, we feel close to you. And we sense the presence of the trees blessing and protecting us. And we breathe in the energy of the sky. And we feel that energy flowing into us as vitality. And the energy of the sky meets the energy of the earth within the center of our beings. And we become aware of being seated in a circle. We might allow our inner eyes to open, to gaze at the fire, to sense the trees around us, our companions around us. Or we may want to keep our inner eyes closed and just to enjoy that feeling of connection and community and warmth. And now it's time for Eisteddfod, for poetry. Song for the Salmon by David White. For too many days now I have not written of the sea, nor the rivers, nor the shifting currents we find between the islands. For too many nights now I have not imagined the salmon threading the dark streams of reflected stars, nor have I dreamt of his longing, nor the live swing of his tail toward dawn. I have not given myself to the depth to which he goes, to the cargoes of crystal water cold with salt, nor the enormous plains of ocean swaying beneath the moon. I have not felt the lifted arms of the ocean opening its white hands on the seashore, nor the salted wind, whole and healthy, filling the chest with living air. I have not heard those waves falling out of heaven onto earth, nor the tumult of sound and the satisfaction of 1,000 miles of ocean giving up its strength on the sand. But now I have spoken of that great sea. The ocean of longing shifts through me. The blessed inner star of navigation moves in the dark sky above, and I am ready, like the young salmon, to leave his river, blessed with hunger, for a great journey on the drawing tide. And just letting the words settle. The images of the salmon and the sea. And all that they give to us. You might like to place your hands on the earth and feel the earth with your palms. And we give thanks for the earth, for all the wholesomeness and good in the earth, for all the life that it brings us. And then lifting your palms up, imagine or even physically place your palms at your heart. And let's give thanks for poetry, for the magic of word and of image to inspire and calm and soothe us. A blessing on all life, a blessing on the land. And with a big deep breath, you hold it for a moment and then breathe out fully and deeply. And let's all take 3 breaths together. A breath in for the land beneath us. Another breath in for the sky above us. And then a breath together for the sea around us. You might like to sense your hands drifting out now and holding the hands of the person to either side of you, feeling that connection, that solidarity, that oneness. A gentle squeeze to either side, and then you let the hands drift away. And you still sense that oneness inside you, sensing yourself as one. Each of us as one unique being on this earth, and yet one with all of life. And then gently this scene of being seated in the sacred grove begins to fade as you become aware of your surroundings, sensing yourself facing your screen, fully present here and now. And when you feel ready, you open your eyes. So, thank you for that. It was good to be with everybody. And I would love to hear any stories you have of bibliomancy. So the poem that I read was called Song for the Salmon by David White. That's White with a Y. And I've found it in his book, The Three Marriages, Reimagining Work, Self and Relationship. So I very much look forward. Well, I won't see you next week. What I did is I met a wonderful person at a party on Ibiza, and we got talking, and she had the most amazing story to tell of a near-death experience and of how she'd been diagnosed with terminal cancer and given 3 weeks to live. And that was 5 years ago. And she's had the most extraordinary time since then. And we recorded a Tea with the Druid together. And that's set to auto play on 8 o'clock next Monday. So I hope you enjoy it. Do watch it. It's really, really a really interesting story. And it then links to a longer interview. It's just a 25-minute tea, but it links to a longer conversation Susie, Pearl, and I had straight after recording the tea. So have a wonderful week. Many, many blessings, much love. And I will see you live in a fortnight when I'll be up in Edinburgh. But otherwise, have a great time, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.